It's a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. And a lot of news has happened since the last time we chatted. And maybe none bigger or more controversial than Ty- Tyrus, your new NWA champion, formerly Brodus Clay. Scooter?
So I guess my dreams of RK Otis Brodus is not coming true anytime soon.
And Tyrus.
Uh, it's an interesting choice given who else was in the match.
Yes.
I mean, I guess Republicans have to win at something. It might as well be the NWA Heavyweight Championship.
Um, I guess, but I mean, then you got. I mean, there was nothing wrong with Trevor Murdoch as champion. And he certainly doesn't have, as far as I know, any allegations against him from the past.
I mean, Tyrus was and I'm not sure if he even still is, but a regular contributor to some Fox news show.
Yeah, so is JBL, but,
Yeah, but at least JBL's on finance.
well, I mean, out of everybody you could have put a title on, Tyrus. I mean, look at who held the title before him. Trevor Murdoch, Nick Aldis, Cody, now Tyrus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that kind of tell you where NWA is right now? That they're putting their main title on a D-list WWE guy?
Yeah, basically.
Right. Um, there are rumors that Stone Cold Steve Austin might be making a return to the ring for WrestleMania 39. He has been working out. He's been getting into shape, which kind of caused that speculation. And he didn't say that, and he did say recently that it's not out of the question at this point. And obviously, we saw him last year at WrestleMania. What do you think the chances are of us seeing another Stone Cold match at this WrestleMania?
I mean, at this point, I'm going to say it's 50-50 because are we are we talking like a straight bell to bell match or a segment that turns into a match?
I don't think they're going to necessarily tease us with a segment that turns into a match like last year. I feel like they would straight up tell us that Stone Cold would be wrestling. I feel like the only reason they did it that way last year was in fear that he might back out at the last minute. So leaving it open to, well, we didn't promise a match, we promised a segment. He also said that if you have The Rock at WrestleMania, do you need Stone Cold? Personally, yes. I'd love to see Stone Cold and The Rock at the same WrestleMania once again. Um,
I mean, they shared the ring for 30.
True, but that was again a segment, not a match. I think he's referring to having two matches. But wouldn't that be interesting to have Stone Cold Night 1, The Rock Night 2, or The Rock Night 1 and Stone Cold Night 2?
I think we be getting Stone Cold Night One, if anything. Um, I mean, the question is who. The question is who is the opponent.
Well, I was hearing rumors that it might be CM Punk. Well,
Oh, I haven't laughed like that since I was a little girl. Thank you.
well, I mean, it's not like CM Punk is going to go back to AEW at this point. And if WWE, makes an effort to kind of smooth him into coming back, I mean, a match with Stone Cold would be the way, right?
I don't know.
Well,
I have one person in mind,
who was you thinking?
and that I'm thinking Austin Theory.
Ew, why? Did they start same share the same name?
because Theory can oversell.
Who? Who else would be a big name to put in with Austin? I mean, there's a poss. I mean, could Seth have a good match? I mean, I feel like he would kind of be
The
under.
Seth, yeah,
He would have to
that
really
would
walk.
be a misuse.
Hmm. Who else? I mean, it can't be Roman. You don't want to put him against Brock. So, not lastly. I mean, if maybe if
Who wouldn't be wasted by having a match with Stone Cold? That's what we have to ask.
what about Sami Zayn? I feel like
Uh,
that would be a decent match.
I think we're it's I think Sammy is kind of out of consideration. I think it's going to be Sammy and KO against
The
the
Usos.
Usos.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
could Goldberg?
Oh my
You know
god.
what? Screw it. Bring in Hogan.
Oh god. Oh god, no. Hey, what about Finn Balor? I feel like he could easily have a good match with Stone Cold, take the bumps, mess around with Austin, and then take the L. Your thoughts?
Uh, hmm. Again, I think Balor would be a waste. We can't expect a match with Stone Cold to be a 4-star classic, let alone a 5-star classic. Uh,
Hey, nobody. I don't think. And the match, obviously, the match at 38 wasn't a 5-star classic, but it got the job done. And I mean, as long as he beats somebody else up and does a stunner, the people will probably go home happy.
this is why I honestly think Austin Theory is the best for this.
Would Stone
because
Cold
one,
have a tag team match? I wouldn't think so.
no, I wouldn't. No.
What about AJ Styles?
Again, what? How would we logically get to that?
I mean, does there need to be a logical way to get there?
I mean, the feud between KO and Stone Cold started on social media, so something sparked it. I mean, the idea of we're gonna give you this potential dream match just because we can doesn't really cut it anymore.
So you feel like there needs to be a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is there a reason why there's rumor in the innuendo that um Logan Paul is rumored to be John Cena's opponent at 39?
Or do you have it the other way around?
John
John
Cena
Cena
is
is rumored
Logan
to be
Paul's.
Logan Paul's opponent.
Well, first and foremost, it's kind of iffy if Paul could make it to Mania at this point anyway. But I don't know. Do you have actor versus social media star? Is that way too far of a stretch? Or is it kind of killing two birds with one stone?
I mean, I mean, one would assume Cena is still looking for the WrestleMania moment that he would have gotten, or the final WrestleMania moment that he would have gotten at 36.
36. Was that the one with.
Fiend, Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah. Shit, was that his last
And
WrestleMania? Yeah.
and I'm assuming if that happens, it's because Cena is still wants that one final glorious WrestleMania moment. He tried doing it at 34, and we got a 5 minute squash. Um, he did it. It was a throwaway segment at 35, and when it seemed like he was finally going to be something at 36, of course, we get a cinematic match.
Right. No fault of his own anyway.
No, but and with no Cena at 37 or 38, I'm assuming the fact that WrestleMania goes Hollywood means they break out, Cena 2. You know, hmm, Cena and Hogan against the Paul brothers.
Oh god. Why are you bringing Hulk Hogan in on this? I'd rather see Killer Hogan than Hulk Hogan at this point.
All right, then Ric Flair's going to be Austin's opponent.
Oh god. Well, I mean, if we're bringing the fossils out, why not have Ricky the Dragon fight Austin?
Oh, because he's contracted to AEW right now.
Really? I didn't know that there was any contracts between the Dragon and.
I'm pretty sure it's a gentleman's agreement.
Well, there's no gentlemen in AEW. Alright, so pro Logan Paul versus John Cena or anti?
I would be for it because I'm not sure who would really get booed more.
I would assume Paul. Not that John Cena isn't actually an active competitor anymore. People are happy to see him when he does come back. I'm just wondering who really benefits from that match. Because Cena, again, more of an outsider than anything at this point. Does beating Logan Paul really do anything for him? And do you really want to give Logan Paul a victory over John Cena?
I mean, if Logan Paul comes dressed out as Thugonomics Cena,
Hmm.
I mean, do you possibly even bring in another celebrity?
Vin
You
Diesel?
possibly Machine Gun Kelly?
Why?
Well, one because they're both the same 2K DLC, and every time I put Logan Paul up against Machine Gun Kelly won.
Okay.
Um, screw maybe do Logan Paul Bad Bunny.
That doesn't sound half bad, honestly. Okay. Interesting. Alright, another interesting tidbit. Scarlett, during a live event, got a drink thrown at her by Grandma. She's that means
And they went
she's
out for pizza afterward.
that means she's over like Rover, right? When you get grandmas pissed at you, then you know you're doing something right.
Yeah, it's just a question of what did Scarlett really do, though.
I'm not entirely sure. I think she
I
was
mean,
just,
I mean, aside from the low blows.
supporting in the match. I believe she was just supporting Karrion Kross. But the question is, would that same grandma throw a drink into Karrion's face? Because he's not a Joe drink in face of famous yet. Hey, Um, anything you want to add?
Oh, um, uh, as expected, Kevin Owens is the final member of the team opposing the Bloodline uh, at War Games. Um,
Well,
so,
he is currently injured as well, so there is
he was on SmackDown last night, and it was officially announced. Um, something incredibly interesting. Detroit being considered for SummerSlam 2023.
Interesting.
Not exactly a city you consider, summer esque. Um,
Especially if you ask Ohio.
uh, I mean, I'm assuming they would hold it at Ford Field, which was the site of WrestleMania 23, or Comerica Park, where the Detroit Tigers play.
When's the last time
Uh,
Detroit even got a big WWE event?
God, yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Well, the next thing
Um,
on the news bracket, there is speculation on if Thunder Rosa will be stripped of the AEW Women's Championship. As of right now, there is no time frame of when she should come, if she'll come back, or when she'll come back. Um, I love Thunder Rosa, but I kind of feel like that's maybe the right move to do is strip her of the title.
yeah, yeah,
But then again, we
yeah.
have, well, why wasn't the other champion stripped? I believe Cody and Puck were the other two interims. And what go they would have to make something of what would constitute having an interim champion and what constitutes stripping them of the title means. No?
Yeah, I mean, it used to be, the unwritten rule was if they don't, for lesser titles, it was if they don't defend once every 30 days, they get stripped. For world titles, it was if it's not defended once every 60 days. Um, but yeah, at this point, you you have to admit you got to take it. You got to take that now figurehead of a title off of Thunder Rosa because it's not fair to you know who's currently fighting for the current AEW you know women's championship. Uh,
But
it's like it's saying, oh, your title will still be here when you get back. Like that's kind of that's it's really nepotistic
well, I mean,
when you think about it.
isn't that just AEW?
Very true.
Speaking of
Uh, ooh,
what was that?
I'm wondering if we're about to go say the same piece of news. Um, uh, Another return in the works, and I called this one. WWE reportedly has offered a new contract to Chona.
Yeah, that's correct. They have, but as of right now, he hasn't signed that contract.
Well,
Um,
that's why I said offer.
yes. I think we knew that was coming. Bronson Reed was seemed like he had a lot of potential in WWE, but for whatever reason, he got let go. But it does seem like New Japan is capitalizing on that. They've been giving him a monstrous push, and they've been protecting him pretty strongly since he's been there. He's even got a win over Okada. So the question is, if Jonah comes into WWE, are they going to give him a win on Roman? That was a rhetorical, Stu.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if they're not giving me a W on Roman, but they're giving me a W on Okada, I'm gonna go to the place where they give me the W on the biggest name in the company and one of the biggest names in the world right now. But that's just how I feel about it. What about you?
Yeah.
Alright. AEW Full Gear is later today. And one more match was announced. The Elite versus Death Triangle. The Bucks and Kenny are back. Do you see it just as being as pro wrestlers, or are they returning as vice presidents as well?
Who knows at this point? I at this point, I'm not sure of anything in AEW.
Alright. That will conclude the news, and now a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey guys, this is Brutal Bob Evans from Hangs with Bob Seminars and TheWrestleLife.com, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.